I ever rode a horse, I can't honestly, I think I've been on one since I was probably 3 or 4. I was always on a horse.
Callie's first horse that was really her horse was a little POA named Candy, a little gray filly. She was just super broke and knew her job, and she was probably Callie's first great teacher.
Well, my dad, he rode bulls. He ended up 16th in the world one year, and then he quit that and started bulldogging. My mom won Miss Rodeo America in 1971. When she went to Miss Rodeo America, she said the only thing she owned was her bra and her underwear because she borrowed all the queen clothes, but she did well. Like, she won horsemanship, and then they used to have to like tie goats and run barrels for the horsemanship.
Somebody said, "Why did you quit running barrels?" And I said, "Well, it's pretty hard when your 9-year-old girl beats you all the time." You know, I had a wonderful career and loved my horses and done well. But when she came up and started doing what she was doing, and I saw the passion that she had and the talent, that became my pride, was being able to be her support system. It takes a team. You've got to have that support, and I didn't want to be riding against her. I wanted to be there helping her.
When I was in 8th grade and we had a horse called Cherokee, my mom was helping train, and I just kind of took Cherokee over, and we kind of trained him and seized him, and that's what I run everything on in high school and college. And he was probably the first one. Mom helped me, but then after that, everything else we trained.
Callie's always had a very driven work ethic, and she carries that through. I never had to encourage her much. She's always been tough on herself.
She's just really, really independent, and she just, she doesn't want you to help her with nothing. She wants to be herself supportive, and she just, no matter what you do with her, she wants to pay for everything. Whether you're traveling or home or whatever, she wants to pay for everything. But her own horses, that's her deal. I mean, it's just the way she is.
My mom, ever since I was little, I'd go to her clinics, and that kind of got me going. And then, I've rode with Sue Smith a little bit and just, watched so many different people. I love to watch Sherry ride because she's so quiet, and she has had so many good horses of her own that she's trained. I like to watch people, like Time Only, go to those big barrel races and just watch how people do things and read things. And I think you'd read everything and get other people's ideas and stuff, and then just kind of work them into your own deal.
It doesn't matter if it's 10 below and snow here at the house, or in the middle of the summer with the hot temperatures. If she's driven all night and gotten home from a rodeo, she'll be at the barn early in the morning taking care of her horses, riding the outside horses, being very, methodical and good with what she takes it seriously, the responsibility of the horses.
Usually in the summer I do wake up around 5 or so and get up, and usually I let the dogs out and they run up with me, and then I will feed the hay, then I grain, and after I grain I just kind of use different products at different times of the year to take care of them. I keep them on the immune. I think that's real important, because as much as you haul them and all the different things you come across, then I start cleaning pens, and then right when I get done I start riding for the day.
How many circles do you think you've walked in your life?
Oh yeah, a million and way more. Too many. Enough that I have little tracks everywhere. Sometimes I have to take a break and start riding at night when it cools off, because it gets too hot for me and the horses. But basically when I'm home, that's all I do. And then I try to feed about the same time every day, and usually at night it's around between 4 and 5. Try to keep them on a schedule, no matter if it's in the morning or at night, or if we're on the road or not. And it's just typically our day, and that doesn't mean my day's done, but that's just kind of our schedule we keep on.
And she's got a really good attitude, and sometimes you kind of have to help her just like anybody else.
I'm like everybody else, I get down easy, so I need somebody to kind of like, hey, remember you just won this. You're like, why are you down already? Kind of remind you what you've done good to stay positive. A lot of it's who you surround yourself with, because if you have negative people around you, you're never gonna get out of it. So friends and family definitely, and remember my goals, and there's always peaks and valleys, so that there's times that things aren't not gonna go your way. So you just have to keep pushing forward. A little over a year and a half ago, Carl Cottle from Blackfoot called me and asked me if his granddaughter was busy. They had 2 horses that would be futurity age, and she only had time for one. And he asked me if I would take her in futurity and possibly sell her. And I got her, I guess, in January of 2014. And first, I didn't really like her all that well because she just wanted to go by and come back and wanted to hit a lot of barrels, leaving them bad. And I wore shin guards forever because I didn't like my, but you know, then probably the first part of March, she clocked really good and I had him price her to me. And at that time I couldn't really afford her, you know, because I had another horse for sale. And then I took her to the Salty Dash Futurity in Utah, and I ran her the Friday night because she'd really never been anywhere. And she ran in the 1D, and I called him that night and told him I'll buy her. And then the next 2 days, she won both goes of the Futurity and the Average, and then won the second day of the whole open race. And so she was mine that come the next Monday. You know, I didn't want her to go anywhere. We just clicked. She just clicked with me really well, and you know, just part of it, you know. I had to get used to her because at first she definitely was born go by, come back, and I rounded her out a lot. Like the guy that rode her before me, he doesn't know how I did it. He doesn't know how he's like, I couldn't, she was always so stiff. I could never round her out. And I don't know, I just low blocked the circles on her. I don't know how I did it, but she has rounded out and we don't hit as many barrels, but you know, that's just natural, a little bit her style. All athletes have their own way of doing things to make them good. I had to adapt. Her biggest asset is her speed. You know, she does a stride a mile long. It's amazing. She looks like she's loping when she runs. People are like, she clocked that? I'm kind of a creature of habit, you know, I get on her and I lope about the same amount of circles all the time. I break her off, and then lots of times I'll get off and walk her, you know, kind of for her and me, because she gets a little uptight before I run her sometimes. So if I get off and just kind of let her chill. If I'm close enough to my trailer, I might go stand by the trailer by other horse and let her kind of relax for a little bit.
Callie said at Livingston, the mare just didn't have her best run and almost kind of ran a little scared to the third barrel. And Callie said walking back to the trailer, it was like Callie'd go to pet her and she'd turn her head away from Callie, almost like she knew she'd done something wrong, that she hadn't won. The next night she came out and just smoked her run. Ground wasn't great, but it was like, I can do this. I'm going to do this for you. So I think there is just an enormous connection between the two of them. They just are a real team. Sometimes I think God just sends special gifts your way when you work hard. And, you know, we've always had great horses under Callie, but not a super great horse. And I think that Tuneful is that. And, you know, it was just it was almost like ironic how she came into Callie's hands. And it's just such a partnership.
It doesn't matter what kind of horse you buy, if you don't have a bond with them, I don't think you're ever going to be, you might be successful, but you might not be unstoppable. You know, I think you need to have a special bond, and that is kind of a secret between the two of you. You know, like, can I explain what her and I have together? No, but it's there, you know. And I mean, I sometimes I can touch her and it just like sends chills through me because she's special and I can feel that.